How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Southern Section this week. I'm your host, Connor Morissette. We are back for 2023. So much to get to this week, including a conversation about girls hoops in the section with SB Live's girls basketball reporter Lance Smith. We'll also have highlights from Sierra Canyon girls basketball's win over La Jolla Country Day at the Galen Center. But let's kick off the show with some boys basketball highlights earlier this week. Heritage Christian took down rival Village Christian 69-65. I was there, shot the game in full. Let's roll the tape. Coach, so tight game down the stretch, but you get a rivalry win over Village Christian. How are you feeling right now?
I feel pretty good right now. Did our best to give it away, and that's an excellent team. And you got senior guards up there in Emmanuel and Jalen, so they did their best to fight back. And so I'm just proud of the way these guys competed all the time. And so it wasn't pretty, it wasn't perfect, but a win's a win.
How'd you get it done? They went on that great run in the fourth quarter. How'd you hold them off?
Got the ball into our seniors' hands. I think Joe Johnson has been a guy that's steady for us on defense. He's a senior, and they were taking Gio out of the play, denying him, and Joe had spread the floor, saw an opportunity, and got us that bucket to go back up by 4, and that was a big, big play under a minute.
I thought Tay Simmons looked like a real high-level, next-level prospect tonight. What'd you make of his performance?
We get to see it every day in practice, and he had a little bit of a coming out party even on Saturday against Crossroads with 28 and 14. And so he just continues to put in the work, and as well as he played, he still beats himself up after the game for a free throw here or an offensive rebound they got. So he's growing right before our eyes. Still 15 years old as a sophomore. It's crazy.
He does not look 15.
Yeah.
And then the last thing, Giovanni, another great game from him. That's one of the best games I've seen him play. What were your thoughts?
Gio is, first of all, just an incredible talent. We know he can score the ball. That's never been the question. But when he's got those guys around him, how does he get them involved? And his assists, if you watch for the last 14 games, his assists are going up. I venture to say he probably had another 8 or 9 tonight, maybe 10. And so he knows the fourth quarter is the time to go and get some now and then because they're going to be denying and this. And so watching his evolution as a scoring guard into a true point guard is amazing.
High school sports are one of the things that make living in California so great.
But sometimes the behavior in the stands can overshadow our achievements on the field.
I love it when my parents show up for me.
But being booed for missing a play can be crushing.
And remember that refs are people too.
They're trying their best to call a fair and correct game.
Hey, and enough with all the swearing.
No one should feel insulted or ashamed
because of their race, ethnicity, or gender.
We should be able to hold our heads high after the match, win or lose.
At 19-1, West Ranch is one of the best boys basketball teams in the Southern Section. The squad competed in the Classic at Damien Holiday tournament a few weeks ago. After a couple of their games, I spoke with head coach Jeff Bryant and senior center Jazz Gardner. I asked Bryant about the team's hot start and Gardner about the team's overtime win over Sherman Oaks Notre Dame. So, Coach, 13-0 now on the season. What's allowed you guys to click so well to begin this season?
Yeah, winning. We know we want to. We had aspirations against the open division. In order for us to do that, we're going to have to win basketball games. So we're not trying to lose a basketball game.
What did your team show you in Las Vegas in the Tarkanian Classic? You won that championship, and What have they shown you today?
Yeah, well, we could play through adversity. There's going to be some adversity, and the way we respond to that adversity is what I'm most impressed of. In Tarkanian, we were down, 10 points at halftime to a Bishop Gorman team, or 7 points. So we fought back, and we got the win, and tonight we were kind of, a little shaky, but we figured it out.
Yeah, you've had so much success. Did you envision a 13-0 undefeated start? Is this better than what you expected?
It is, but with the group that we have, the experience we have, I'm not shocked or surprised. The crazy part is we're not at our potential right now, and we're about to go in this locker room and probably, have a few words for them because we didn't play like we should have played today. But I'm not surprised at all. This is exactly where we should be at.
Last thing, how do you keep it rolling and keep this flow going?
Yeah, just defense, rebound the basketball. We're an experienced group, so when a team goes on a run, we got to learn how to stop the bleeding. And with a group full of seniors, I think we should be able to do that.
So down 25 at halftime. A lot of teams would have given up. How'd you guys get it done in overtime today? How'd you get it done, down 25?
Man, we just told ourselves that the target score is to get at least down 10 to 12 points at the end of the third quarter. And we did it. And we just buckled down every possession, one step at a time, not looking for any home run plays or anything. Just chopping the score or chopping the lead down little by little.
What did Coach Bryant say at halftime? I know it might not be appropriate for this audience, but give me the summary.
We played soft, and we need to step it up, or else we'll lose everything we built.
How are you feeling right now after a great comeback?
Real tired, man. My feet are killing me right now. I need to take these shoes off. I feel like I just stepped on hot lava all day.
And the last thing, so you get the lead, you get the lead in regulation, and then they hit a three to send it to overtime. What was your mindset after they hit that three to send the game to extra time?
I mean, the score is 0-0 at that point. Now we just need to win the next 4 minutes.
All right, it's now time to talk some Southern Section girls basketball. My coworker Lance Smith, who does a great job covering girls basketball in the section, joins us now on Southern Section this week. Lance, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having me.
So I saw Sierra Canyon last week, and they, as expected, looked great. They have to be the favorite to win the Open Division Championship. My question for you is, who can challenge them? I know Etiwanda will be good. Are there any other teams? Break down who might challenge Sierra Canyon for an Open Division crown.
It's Etiwanda. I don't think any other team has much of a chance right now. The next two best teams in the section are Mater Dei and Sage Hill. Sage Hill has played Etiwanda twice this season, played reasonably well, but still lost by about 30 points both times. Mater Dei, they picked up a loss early in the season to Santiago Corona, a very good team in its own right. They weren't fully healthy. Since then, they've been just about unbeatable. So they're kind of emerging as that clear third team. But still, like last year in the playoffs, they were playing their best ball down the stretch. They played Etiwanda in the semifinals, played a great game just to keep it within 15 or 20 points. So if you're going to look at it on paper, there's just not an argument to make right now that it doesn't come down to those two teams. Things could change. Injuries are always a part of it, although so far there haven't been a whole lot of injuries this year in the girls basketball season. So that's great. Hope that continues. But there's still 2 months between now and the state finals. So a lot of time for some of the other teams to reach peak form if they haven't already. But it looks like it's a pretty clear Sierra Canyon Etiwanda rematch, and that is just so exciting.
Yeah, so last year Etiwanda won the section championship, and then Sierra Canyon won the state championship. What has changed for those two teams this season?
Not a whole lot. For Sierra Canyon, they returned their whole team. They now have Sophia Ruelas healthy. That's nice. They have a freshman center, a 6'4" center, Amelia. I don't want to butcher her last name, so I'm not going to, but I think a lot of girls hoops fans know who I'm talking about. She had a really good game. Oh, you saw her. You saw her against La Jolla Country Day, held her own against Brea Cunningham, so that was one of her best games so far. Other than that, not a whole lot is different. For Etiwanda, pretty similar as well. Obviously, they lost 5-star guard wing Destiny Agubada. She went to Santiago, is also out for the season with an injury anyway. But they have their core four of Kennedy Smith, Aliana Puff Morris, who's been much better as a sophomore after winning Cal High Sports Freshman of the Year. And then the two senior wings, Sayla Hemingway and Majesty Cade. So they still got that core four. They have Ryan Riddle, who transferred over from LaSalle. She's been good. Mikkel Richards from Cajon, who I think really has the potential to push them over the top. Aaron Finley, a young guard. They could go 12 deep if they needed to, although they usually don't. So they're pretty similar. And I think offensively, they've been able to pick up for Agubada's lost playmaking a little bit more smoothly than I would have expected. It's been a smooth transition. So even without her, they are right there.
In terms of surprise teams, Lance, we know Sierra Canyon and Etiwanda, they're not surprising anyone how good they are. Who are some teams that have caught your attention because they're having such a good year that maybe you didn't expect to be so good?
Yeah, I got two for you. And this has really been the season of surprises in the Southern section. I could go on and on about it, but certainly in our 4 years here, there haven't been this many surprise teams. But the two really prominent ones right now are Lusinger and Los Osos. Lusinger, they've had some pieces. When they've been healthy the last couple of years, they've been able to challenge some really good teams. They returned Maidrea Moore and Zoe Anderson, and added Madison Watts, who was an all-state underclassman for 2 years at Mary Star of the Sea, won a title there, averaging well over 20 points a game. So that has turned into one of the better big threes in the section. They look like an open division team and project like an open division team right now. And I think if they got there, they could even rip a win off of a perennial contender. So certainly Lou Zinger. And they started 0-3. They've won 14 since, and only one of those losses did they have Watts. So after that, it was kind of they reached peak form. The other one is Los Osos. Los Osos really announced itself by beating Santiago Corona. That was huge. Their only loss on the season is to Rosary, who's now looking like the Rosary Academy that we're used to seeing. So that's not too bad of a loss. I believe they're still in Division 3 AA. If they are in 3 AA, it's going to be scary hours. And they're all freshmen and sophomores for the Grizzlies core just about. So they're really good right now, and it's only going to get better for them in the years to come.
Awesome. We'll get you out of here with this, Lance. What's one bold prediction that you have for the rest of the girls' basketball season? Can be anything.
There's so many there's so many bold takes that float around in my head. But I was just talking about Los Osos. Here's one. I think that they're going to win 3AA and go on to win a state championship. That's my bold take. Even being filled with 14, 15, 16-year-olds, not a ton of experience. That's my bold take. They've just been that lights out. And they're beating the teams by 30 that they're supposed to beat. Obviously beat Santiago and played Rosary tough. So I think just the fact that they're coming out of Division 3 AA and what that would line them up as looking ahead to the state playoffs, maybe Division 3. That's my take. I think they're legit, and they're going to go as far as they can go, which might be a state title.
Great, Lance. Thank you so much. This conversation segues very nicely into the Sierra Canyon highlights that I was talking about earlier. So last week I did have the chance to watch Juju Watkins go off at the Galen Center, her future home for the USC signee. Sierra Canyon took down La Jolla Country Day. We have those highlights as well as post-game reaction from Juju, and that's coming up next.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it. It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
I wanted to start my career, like especially playing in here, I wanted to start off strong. And I'm glad I got to do it with my current team because, they mean a lot to me. And just gave me a preview of what it's going to be like next year. So this made me more confident in my decision, and I'm very proud that I made it. Yeah, it meant a lot. I haven't been this excited for a game in a long time. And it's not even the team we playing, it's just like getting to play here with my team. And yeah, it meant a lot. I was so excited coming into the game, but I had to, remind myself, like, this is still business. Like, you need to relax. And so that's what I came here to do. I played good. My team played well, which is, we played really good. So I'm just happy for my team and happy we got the dub today.